Hi, welcome to the Proven Amazon Course webinar. I'm your host, Jim Cockrum. I've got a few fellas here with me today as well. They're the guys who have helped build this incredible course. It's about 9 years old, actually, and we're going to talk quite a bit about how you can use the principles of this course to build an incredible business. And I thought one of the things we do right off the bat is introduce some of the people who have used this course themselves to do some incredible things. So we'll do some introductions in a minute and tell you about my team and the guys that are on the call with us. But let's talk about some of these success stories. And here with me today, I've got Nathan Bailey, I've got Brett Bartlett, and behind the scenes, kind of keeping an eye on things, Mr. Stephen Deaton, the right-hand man, who might chime in a little bit. But between the three or four of us, we're going to talk about some of the people in our community and some of the real-life success stories. And then we're going to talk about how Amazon and the Amazon opportunity, and specifically this course, changed their lives. We've seen this happen for over 1,000 people now, documented. There's tens of thousands of people around the world building great businesses on Amazon, but these are the people who have used this course to do some incredible things. So let's flip through some of these, and Brett and Nathan, I'd encourage you, chime in here, guys, and you know a lot of these people. Let's just throw some slides on the screen and talk about some of these great people from our community. Brett or Nathan, you guys know Carolyn. Go ahead, Nathan. What do you know about Carolyn, man?
You know what, Carolyn, she lives right here in Utah with me. And I mean, I love seeing these people that start from nothing. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone start from absolutely nothing, a couple $100 into this business, and can build it into a 6 and 7 figure business. And with all the adversity that Carolyn is up against, and she's been able to really go out there and become massively successful at this, it just proves that anyone really can do this if they put their mind to it and they have the right knowledge, direction, and tools.
That picture, the bottom picture on the screen we're looking at right now, holds a lot of emotion for me because, as it says on this slide, she was homeless. But I mean, we've all met this lady. We've seen her kids. She's been at our event and stood so nervous up on stage and told her story with 4 or 5 slides. And that picture of her in front of her house with her hands raised there, man, that's an emotional image for me because she was fully homeless, like didn't have anywhere to live. And she began selling on Amazon. And now she's one of our great leaders in the community that we've built with these thousands of successful Amazon sellers that we surround ourselves with. And we're going to tell the listeners how they can be a part of that community as well as we go into this webinar. But I'm just so proud of Carolyn. And that's just one story. Literally, we could do this for a couple hours, just show slide after slide, real person after real person. These are the people, we'll tell you how you can get into the Facebook community and hang out with these people if you want. Like, she's in our community every day. And we're in there helping each other grow our businesses, talk strategy, how to use Amazon more effectively. Well, hey, let's jump to the next one and see what you guys think of this one. Matt and Marie. Have you met them, Brett?
I actually don't think I've had a chance to meet Matt and Marie yet.
Well, I spent some time with them. I know they're one of these couples that had tried multiple business ideas.
I know that feeling, man.
Yeah, well, that's a little bit of your story, and I can't wait to tell people about it, man, because I know you had tried multiple business strategies. When you go online and you start looking for business strategies, you can go into a lot of dead ends. You can go into a lot of scams. There's a lot of scam artists willing to take your money, but you don't really end up with anything in the end. Well, Matt and Marie found us, and like it says, they were $30,000 in debt. Now, again, another real couple with kids, with bills to pay, with obligations, and they found our community. They found the Proven Amazon course, and here we are. I've seen them 4 or 5 times now. They actually bought me a really cool gift. We don't need to talk about it, go into it right now, but I mean, I've gotten to know them really well. Just hearts of gold. They're able to take vacations now and travel thanks to the Amazon business. That's all they do. They don't have corporate careers any longer. They work on Amazon. It says they started hiring VAs. That's virtual assistants. Their business is run by people who live all over the world who are helping them grow their business. And maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that, but you can find great help to help you do virtually any part of this business. It doesn't have to be you doing the work. It can be people you hire that live around the world helping you source product and manage your business. And it's not complicated stuff. It's all in our course that we're going to talk about. Well, let's jump to the next one and see if you guys know this guy. Either one of you met John?
Yeah, I have.
Go ahead. What do you know, Nathan?
Oh man, you know what? You attract awesome people. You know, and early on, John had taken one of our other courses that teaches really the basic, sourcing local, selling to the world type of techniques that we teach. And he was so excited. He's like, man, I went out and got this. I bought this. I think it was something like a book that he had bought for like $3 and turned it into a $180 profit. I mean, and this isn't uncommon. I hear this almost on a daily basis now.
Yeah. And these are some of the great people. There's in the upper 30,000s at this point in our Facebook group, and we'll tell you how to become a part of that group soon. You can interact with these people as much as you'd like around the clock. These are people around the world. This is a global opportunity. Doesn't matter where you live on the planet. You can take advantage of the greatest time in human history, is what I call it, to have an online business. You can get into an international online business, and it doesn't require a college degree. You didn't have to be the kid that got great grades in school. And like as you're seeing here, I mean, we're talking about people who had $50 a month budget. Carolyn was homeless. The reason we selected some of these success stories today from the ones we could have selected is because they kind of kill your excuses. Most of us are better off than a homeless person or someone who only has $50 a month budget to use for their business. Most of us listening to this webinar are better off than these people who are now doing incredible businesses on Amazon. All right, let's jump to the next one. Who's next? Now, Shane and Becky, I don't know as much about, but it's just another great success story. Have you talked with these guys, Nathan?
You know what? I haven't. And, I got to be honest with you, these aren't even our best success stories, but I still, I love and cherish every single one of them because what we've been able to do in changing people's lives is to this day is humbling.
Well, I think one of our best success stories is the guy who hasn't talked a whole lot yet, Brett Bartlett. We're going to get to him in a minute. But the thing I like about the success stories that Stephen picked out for us today as we go through these slides is these are people, they were near rock bottom and desperate for a change, it says. So I like that we've picked success stories that say, hey, it doesn't matter what station in life you're at right now, there is an opportunity that is low risk. And just to cut kind of straight to the end of the story, yeah, we do have a course that we're going to tell you guys about. And yeah, it does cost a few $100s. We're going to tell you about that. It's not thousands. It should be. It's a few $100s, guys. So hang with us till the end. We're going to give you some specifics about that. But it's changing lives. And we've got a huge community of people that will attest to that. Literally over 1,000 documented testimonials. Jump to that next slide, Stephen. I mean, they just pour in. Now, this is actually a background picture. This is recently we said, hey, everybody, let's get together. And we had an event. We like to do that. But over 1,000 testimonials. Yeah, just bump some of those up on the screen. I mean, it's, this is the kind of stuff we get in our email inbox constantly. Now, don't try to read this, but we'll actually tell you how you can go to a page where you can see hundreds and hundreds of success stories and testimonials from the course that we're going to tell you about today. So we got a screenshot, I think. I mean, it's all over Facebook, too, on our group. This is just what our Facebook group looks like on a daily basis. People jumping in, sharing their results, sharing their success. And just to kind of start to jump into the content now, hopefully we've convinced you, yeah, okay, Jim, we get it. There's a lot of people succeeding with this. Tell me what it is that they're doing. Well, it's FBA. And since Brett hasn't talked a whole lot yet, Brett, how about you take the mic and fill us in? What is FBA for someone who has no clue about online business? Just give us a couple-minute primer on what this thing is.
Yeah, real quick in a nutshell, and I think this is going to be a sigh of relief for anybody who's tensing up like I did when I heard about online business and, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can succeed online. Here's the most beautiful thing. You are partnering. This is my best way of explaining FBA, which means Fulfillment by Amazon. It's like partnering. It is partnering with a multi-billion-dollar company named Amazon.com, and it's like having them as a business partner. So what that means is you don't have to worry about all the horrible headache stuff that comes with an online business. And let me tell you what some of those are. How do you find traffic for your customers, right? How do you find those customers who might buy your product? Amazon does that for you, okay? They find the millions and millions and millions and millions of buyers who they've poured tons of money into to acquire. You get to get access to those customers. And the other part that I love the most is Amazon spent billions of dollars on an infrastructure of shipping, meaning all that, having to pack your boxes individually and ship out to a customer, that goes away too using Amazon. So basically they do all the hard work for you. They acquire customers and they do the majority of shipping and customer service to these customers. So literally you have one job, find cool products. That's it, which I love it. And if it wasn't like that, I don't know if I'd ever be able to get started online. It was because of FBA that I was able to launch my online business. And guys, I can tell you there's nothing out there like Amazon FBA. It is so cool what Amazon's built, and really they are supporting the growth of sellers like me and hopefully you.
Yeah, we've helped thousands of people launch businesses. We've been doing this for way over a decade. I've been doing this full time for 15 years. My last real job was 15 years ago. I've been selling physical product online. I don't touch my product ever. And FBA, we haven't even told people what FBA stands for yet. It's Fulfillment by Amazon, because one of the biggest pain points that you mentioned, Brett, those pain points of having a business is putting your product in a box, figuring out the customer's address, sending it to the customer. What if there's a return? All of those logistical issues with selling physical products. Well, with FBA, you just send one big box of your products into Amazon. They store it, and when it sells, they ship it for you. All you do is send Amazon products, and they send you a check. That's the FBA model. They're doing the fulfillment. This is not our term that we came up with. FBA is Amazon's term. They said, hey, sellers, let us FBA for you. Let us fulfill your orders. So you just send this inventory. They've got warehouses all over the world now. You send it where they tell you to send it, and they'll sell it. It really is that simple. So let's flip to the next slide. Here you've got all these products being in front of all these millions of buyers, right, on this slide. Okay, so as these millions of buyers buy the product, Amazon sends the money, a big chunk of it, back to the third-party sellers. So the whole game basically is, like Brett mentioned, finding profitable product, which is what we're going to spend a lot of time on this webinar teaching you how to do today. How to go
and it's a beautiful arrangement. They basically said, look, if you sign up for FBA, if you sign up for Fulfillment by Amazon, not only will we ship it for you, but we are going to put you in the front of the line to show to our customers. That's kind of how I view it. And so it's just an amazing relationship. And like you said, Jim, there's no better time ever to be an online entrepreneur, especially when they take away the biggest headaches that exist with selling certain products online. So FBA is amazing.
It's like you set me up for the next slide, dude. Number 13, flip forward one more. You talk about now being the best time. You might be under the impression, if you're listening to this webinar and you're going, yeah, this online sales thing, it's been around a while. I need you to soak in this next slide and just consider the ramifications of this slide. This is current. Now, as we're recording this, we're in late 2017 territory. This is current statistics. We could be in the year 2020, and that 6% will be 8 or 9 or maybe 10% tops. So just think about this for a second. Of all the retail sales that are happening, now this is for the United States here specifically, but other countries mirror these same statistics. Only 6% of the stuff being bought and sold retail is being bought and sold online. 94% of all retail purchases are still happening the old-fashioned, traditional, get in your car, take a bus, take a taxi, go to the store, buy stuff off the shelf. 94%. So what you should take away from this slide is, right now is the window of opportunity. And the future is bright. The next couple decades are going to be insanely awesome. The opportunity is only going to get bigger for the next 10 to 20 years because all of this product is going to be flowing online. And I can tell you this as well. On Amazon right now, you may think, oh, it's huge. They've got everything on there already. No, they don't. We've got rock solid evidence that only a fraction of what could be on Amazon is on Amazon. My estimate is somewhere between 5 and 10% of the possible products that could be on Amazon are there. The other 90% isn't there yet. That's the opportunity. You could be introducing your own products that just aren't online yet, all kinds of opportunity. Am I leaving anything out, Nathan, as we talk through the visual of this, the future of this opportunity, and why right now is a good time to start?
Well, right now it's good to start because it's easy, right? And it's not going away anytime soon. It's just not. It's here to stay. And all of the suppliers that I work with now are clamoring to come work with me because they just think it's so much more complicated than it really is. And going through this Proven Amazon course, you're going to find that too, that there are going to be relationships and business owners clamoring to say, hey, will you sell my products for me on Amazon? I'm clueless. I'm good at doing this brick and mortar thing, but I don't know anything about it online. So there never has been a better time to inject yourself into this business.
This is a skill set of the future. It really is. Being able to sell physical product online, as this graph demonstrates, and the same source, this data is quoted in the bottom right-hand corner. You can go there, look this up yourself. But they're projecting that 6% is going to continue to grow hundreds of billions of dollars in the coming years. That's the new opportunity. And there are a lot of business owners out there, Nathan, like you just said, they simply don't want to do it themselves. They need help doing it. That's an entirely another opportunity. Right now, we're just talking about you making some money to pay the bills. But I just wanted to paint a picture right now of the big picture possibilities. This isn't a, get in, get out, do it for a few weeks, make a few dollars. This is potentially a career for the rest of your life, selling physical product online. And it's all fully automatable, which I love about this opportunity as well. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But let's jump to the next slide and just show how dominant Amazon is. Now, eBay used to dominate in the United States. Not anymore. On Amazon, that's where the dominant shopping experience is. Everybody's shopping on Amazon now, it seems like. I like to tell people if my wife was one of the Transformers, she'd be Amazon Prime. Like literally every day, man. If we need something, we don't run to the store anymore. We jump on Amazon. Why not? We can have it here in a very, very quickly, either tomorrow or in some cases 2 hours. If you live in a Prime Now area, which we do, we can have stuff here in 2 hours. It's insane. But look at this headline. I love this headline Stephen grabbed for us. 10 million more Americans shopped online in just 1 year. 10 million more people joined the online shopping revolution for their Christmas and holiday shopping. That's the exponential growth that we're talking about coming. Those numbers are only going to get bigger.
And Jim,
go ahead.
I love the visual of this slide here because I think people instinctively understand online selling is going through the roof because they're shopping more and more online. Their friends are shopping more and more online. People are getting tired of getting out in the crowds, going and looking through the shelves and trying to find different products when they can pull it up on their screen and order it, and it's at their home in a few days.
Yeah, the convenience. And they're willing to pay more, too. That's the crazy. People are willing to pay more for the convenience. So there's the profit opportunity. And we've got people literally in our community just going to retail stores, grabbing stuff and selling it online. Now, I don't want to oversimplify, but it can be that simple. I mean, we've got huge success stories. I was in just a Walmart recently, and they had 35 printers that were on sale. They'd marked down. I negotiated an even bigger discount and bought all of them, brought them home, put them on Amazon FBA. It took about 4 months for them all to sell. And from that one transaction alone, I made about $1,300 once it was all said and done. You can do that sort of thing anytime you want to. The opportunity is there. People probably could have shopped around and found those printers on sale themselves, but you put them out there on Amazon, convenience, people are going to grab them up and they're willing to pay more. So let's jump to the next slide, though. I want to convince you guys, if you're listening to this and you're joining Stephen, Brett, Nathan, and I need you to stick around because we're going to give you, here's my commitment to you, if you stick around, some very actionable, specific things you can go do to start putting money in the bank, taking advantage of the online revolution that is Amazon FBA. We're going to give you everything you need to know to go start doing that. Yes, we have a course. Yes, we think it's awesome. Yes, we think you probably need it in order to fully do this business the right way. But we want to make sure that this was a great use of your time. So we're going to give you some very specific tips. But first, let's talk about a little bit about this course, okay? There are a good handful of Amazon courses out there. This course is not like the others, though. Let's jump forward to the next slide and just tell you a few things that make this course different. Our success stories. Nobody has anywhere near as many success stories as we do. That should tell you all you need to know right there. But then check this out. Our course is also, among all the Amazon courses out there, it's one of the least expensive, if not the least expensive. It's ridiculously inexpensive. And this slide, actually, we need to update it. We're in the upper 30,000s now in our Facebook group. That means if you buy this course and you jump into our community, you'll be surrounded with that many people who are building online product businesses on Amazon and on other platforms. But Amazon is where we like to start you out. Just to, sometimes when you talk about online business, you can kind of sound like you're selling a pie in the sky pipe dream kind of thing. And I realize that, we're in the business of teaching people how to build businesses online, so it can sound like that. I don't want to leave you the impression that this is push button simple. All you got to do is click here, click there. You're going to make $1 million. We don't ever put big fancy boats and fancy cars. And Brett's got little kids. I've got kids. If you saw my life day to day, man, it's going to be a van with kids in it. Like that's how I roll, man. I don't know how gangster that is, but we got French fries and shakes in the cup holders, dude. I mean, like it's real life around here. But we've been able to build the lifestyle of our dreams, man. The flexibility. And Nathan has little kids. Steven has kids. We're family guys, family first kind of guys.
That's why I do this, so I can hang out with my kids every day and give them the support that they need to grow up to be great people and fulfill my dream as being a parent the way I want to be a parent, and call my own shots and have what everybody wants, Jim, is they just want freedom and control. And you see all these guys pitching this, oh, you're going to get rich, push button, click, get rich. I'm sitting in front of a Ferrari with all these beautiful women. And you're right, that's not real. Right.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in our community. We have a lot of people who went down that road. And maybe you're watching this webinar like, yeah, that's kind of me. I bought a big shiny launch and it didn't work. So I bought another big shiny launch product. I watched their 4 free videos and then I paid $4,000 for that big launch. We don't do that. We've never done that. We've never had a big launch of anything. We just continuously put out great free content. And then we kind of compiled it all up and we built a support team. Our support team is like 80 plus people right now. That's our moderators, the people who help build the Proven Amazon course, who help coach and manage the team. It's a serious company. So we do have to charge a little money for our course, but it's not a huge money maker for us. We make our money selling physical product on Amazon. I mean, we've built an 8-figure business here between the 3 of us, the 4 of us, that's monstrous. That's where the money is. We also do love helping entrepreneurs succeed. However, we put it all into one course. But one of the best tips we can give you, this whole one click gets you $1 million is kind of the opposite of what we talk about. Let's jump to the next slide. Our philosophy is right here. One of my favorite business books ever written is The Tortoise and the Hare. Slow and steady wins the race. We're going to teach you how to put $50 in the bank tomorrow, and then $150 next week, and then $200 the next week, and then maybe you'll have a slow week and you'll only put $100 in the next. But then you look back over your shoulder 6 months later, and you're having $1,000 days, and you're having $10,000 months. These things happen, and it happens all the time to people in our community. Well, let's jump forward to those slides. We're just talking a little bit about what makes it different. That when we teach concepts, we don't teach theory. We never teach theory. The only things we teach in this course or in any course we've ever created or any seminar we've ever done or any webinar we do is stuff that works. It's worked for us. It's worked for our team. It's worked for a bunch of other people. Then we say, hey, everyone, that's how we've grown a pretty big audience of people who listen when we talk, is they know when we talk, we're talking about stuff that's worked for a bunch of people already before we even bring it to the public. I think this is where we start talking about Brett a little bit, right? Yeah. All right, Brett. Man, I'll set you up a little bit, and I want to hear a little bit about it from your vantage point. I love hearing this story. I can't hear it enough, man. But here, this is you and I, actually. That's me on your left as you look at the screen, and Brett's on the right, in front of a group of people. Those people all paid thousands of dollars to come hang out at Brett's office just a few months ago. And it's an event that we do a couple times a year. We have bigger events too, but this was kind of like a more exclusive thing. We came and we saw Brett's office and how his team operates, and just this huge operation that he's built. But just a few short years ago, it was very different. And I'll let Brett take over the story there. Tell us, man. Tell us about the Proven Amazon course, and just tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, man, I love telling the story because it is so fresh in my mind. And those success stories in the beginning are so impactful for me because I know that those are true. Like, I know a lot of people who, watch webinars are like, how legit is that success story? Those success stories hit me right in the heart every time because I'm one of them. And I love the fact when you show those success stories, you were showing basically, hey, if these people can do it, anybody can do it. And that's kind of my story. Like, if I can do this, I am nothing special. And I was working with a lot of constraints when I first started. I was that guy who tried 10, 20 different things online, and literally every one of them just bombed. I made $0. Name it, I probably tried it. And then my favorite part of the story actually was I had never sold a physical product online. So I didn't even know how to ship something to someone. I'd never done that in life in general. And I wanted to learn how to sell on eBay. And so I Googled how to sell on eBay, and actually Proven Amazon course came up. And I purchased it, right? Thinking like, okay, good, I'm going to learn how to sell on eBay. And then it actually taught how to sell on Amazon. And then I was like, man, I even suck at buying the courses. I can't even buy the right course.
I love that.
Yeah, but the craziest thing was that set me, I didn't know at that moment, I had no idea. It set me on an entire different trajectory in my life. And literally starting with $400. When I say $400, I mean, like, if that went down to zero, that means like Brett's done on his, online adventures. Done, zeroed out, game over. So I had $400, and I made a ton of mistakes along the way. But through starting with $400, I have built a multiple 8-figure online business. And guys, I can tell you, it's getting better and better every day. And so the most beautiful thing, in my opinion, about what we're talking about today is it actually works. And you don't have to be amazing at code. You don't have to be great at, putting together webinars or anything like that. You could just be a regular person who is looking for a proven system. And to get started with it is really the hardest part. And then, boom, you are off to the races. And that's my story. I mean, literally, we've built a 50-plus team. We're actually, we have 3 different warehouses in 3 different states, multiple brands that we've launched under different categories. I mean, guys, it almost makes me laugh when I say my testimony, because to me, remember, I'm still the guy who started with $400. Other people look at me and are like, well, what do you think of online selling this day and age? I'm like, are you talking to me? Like, I was the guy who, barely could turn on a computer. And so it's just an amazing, amazing journey that I've gotten to go on. But the number one thing I attribute it to is what we were talking about earlier in this webinar. It's based off of a proven system built off of thousands of success stories. You can't manufacture that. And look, I'm just blessed to be one of those thousands of success stories. And I get to share my story with a lot of different people now.
Well, you're kind of hitting on part of our business model here, which is our content. If you don't know this, or the people watching the webinar and listening to this right now, the internet's changing constantly. Now, there's some things that are completely steady and constant and never change, such as people are going to be buying stuff online in ever increasing numbers. That's established fact. It's not going to change. But the strategies you use and how you source profitable product, there's always new things to learn. And one of the things I've noticed about a lot of the other courses out there, Brett and Nathan, is every time something changes, they charge you more money.
Yeah.
They want to sell you a new course, a new module, sell you some more training, always something else to buy. What I love about the Proven Amazon course, this is a good time to mention this, is that it's free updates for life. We have people who bought this course when it first came out, when we first, Nathan and I, before you ever were even around, Brett, and I think it's before you were with us too, Stephen, we came up with this course and we said, people are asking about Amazon. We're having a lot of success there. Let's teach them how to do what we're doing. Well, the game has slowly changed over the last decade. The course has gotten updates multiple times. We've added new modules, new creative strategies, new keyword strategies and product sourcing strategies. None of it's rocket science, but there's little things you got to learn along the way to continue having that competitive advantage. The thing I love is the course updates for free. So we have people who bought the course almost a decade ago. I think we charged like under $100 back then. It's only gone up a little bit since. But people who've never paid us another dime, and we give them all the content for free. So we've added thousands of dollars of value to this course, and people have never paid us another dime. I'm so proud of that because our community continues to grow, and we're able to do this. And guys like you come along, Brett, and you look at the course and you take it and you run in a slightly different direction. Then you turn around and you say, hey guys, here's what I'm doing. Everybody check it out. You can do it too. And now, boom, there's some new content. The whole thing gets better. We've just been repeating that cycle for about a decade now. And what you end up with is the best library of how to succeed with Amazon and how to succeed selling physical product online. It is the best content and library of content on that topic in the world, bar none. But hey, we promised everybody some very specific, valuable tips, guys. I want to give some people some things that they can walk away from this webinar today and go do, like today, and start right now and succeed. Okay, so this is going to be a little challenge for you guys. Stephen and Brett and Nathan has helped us do this right. Let's give people some very specific things. Now, it all starts with, let's keep this super simple. You've got to go to Amazon. You got to sign up for an account. Okay, I highly recommend you sign up for a pro level account because that gives you all kinds of reporting. It's going to cost you a few dollars a month, but it's going to give you all the reports you need. If you can afford it, you want to go that route. But let's assume you've gone to Amazon, you've signed up as a seller, you've gone through those steps, and this is something our course takes you through, by the way. If you get stumped at that part, we walk you through that. But let's assume you can navigate that part because we don't want to make this a 3-hour webinar where we step you through how to fill out a form with your name and email address, right? Go do that, get set up. But how can people go source profitable products starting right now? And let's jump into something I know that Nathan is excited about, because he does this all the time. Talk to us about this one, Nathan.
Books, man. That's where I started selling on Amazon. That's where I figured out Amazon was really viable. And there is really an abundance of books everywhere. One of the things I do, and I'll get right down to brass taxes here, I run an ad in Craigslist that says cash paid for your books, right? And we have tools that we teach you about in this course that help you develop a criteria of what is a good book that's worth our time to buy and sell versus, what do we want to pass on? So we very quickly teach you how to do that. But I go out and find books, and it's a numbers game, and it is so low risk and easy to start. And now, that's what I started on. And now I just have other people run that side of my business for me. So I don't even touch it. And I just split the profit with them, and they go out and do all the work. But books is really one of the easiest niches. I mean, there's hundreds of other niches you can go after and, tons of other categories, but books is really easy. If you want to take something away from listening to this webinar today, go through your house, go and start looking at the books that you have there just in your house and start looking them up to find out what do they sell for? What are they selling for on Amazon? And then also what you want to look at is sales rank. How good does this book rank against the other books?
I love it. Some good basics on books. And, we've got a slide up right now that says yard sales. So we're not going to forget that one either. That's where I thought you were going to go.
That's where I get most of my books is at yard sales.
That's true. That's what I was going to tie those two together is if you're willing to go out. And here's the thing, guys. I know like Brett, you go out on Saturdays with your team. I don't get up early on Saturdays. I'm not an early guy. But I have a team. Actually, my shopping team is my mom and 2 of my aunts and a few of their friends they've hired, right? And they go out, man, they are shopping ninjas. They know how to hit yard sales and look for bargains, how to find the great books, like you said, how to find the product. You don't have to sell only new products. So if we're going to break down the yard sales into a tip, there's a lot of used stuff. You can sell it on Amazon. Some of it we end up selling on eBay, and maybe we can distinguish, a good product for eBay is like a one-off collectible, like high dollar value item that you want to run an auction for it. Maybe you sell that on eBay, and that's not complicated stuff. Selling on eBay is so simple. Again, go to ebay.com and say, hey, I want to be a seller, and go through the steps. Now you're a seller. Take a picture of your item, list it. It's not complicated. But for stuff that you kind of know what the value is, if it's got a barcode on it especially, man.
And all books do. And I'll tell you, I go yard selling every weekend. In Utah, we get a very small window to go out doing yard sales. And you think, oh, wow, why would you spend your time at yard sales when you could do all these other things? Yard sales tend to be one of the highest ROI and most profitable strategies. And I primarily go to yard sales looking for books, because almost every yard sale you're going to go to has books. And I'm buying books for anywhere from 25 cents to $3 that I'm turning for a minimum of a $5 net profit to anywhere from that $5 all the way up to I've sold books that I bought for 50 cents for 125 bucks.
Oh, Brett has maybe one of the best stories. Was it comic books is what you found at a yard sale once. Brett, tell us, man, now talk about a book score at a yard sale. Tell us that story, man. I know you've told it a couple times, but dude, people in the webinar need to hear this one.
Oh, I don't mind telling it, man. It makes me sound awesome, so I'm good with it. I love yard selling. And to be totally honest, it's actually like the backbone of what we built our business off of. And again, that's what I love about what we're talking about today is anybody can do this. And this is a great way for people who have limited amount of cash, myself included, when I started, was, hey, yard sales, you can buy things for 25, 50 cents. So dude, I'm telling you, I could probably write a novel on yard sales. And one morning, me and my father-in-law Scott, we pull up, and it's kind of like a rainy type of day, and we don't get that a lot in Southern California. It's like everybody hides in their house, and so there's like one garage sale out, and we would have never stopped at that garage sale. It didn't look like it had very much stuff. It had like a fan and like a broom, like you're just going, what's there? But we got out. There was nothing else around. We walk up to it, and I'll never forget. I walk up to this white box, and I just stick my hand in it, and I pull one thing out. It looked like it kind of was older. The stuff inside of it was older, and I thought maybe they were old postcards or something. So I pull it out, and I'm like, oh man, these are comics. And I know nothing about comics. I mean, I probably know negative of knowing anything about comics. Like I just
right.
It's out of my wheelhouse.
Same here.
And, yeah. But I knew enough to know, like, okay, anything older might be valuable. And so there's 150 comics in there. And I start to do a little bit of research online, and I'm like, holy moly, some of these are worth, $40, $50, $100, $200, $1,000, $3,000. And again, I'm going, I don't know anything about what I'm looking at, but I know that this might be valuable. And so I asked the guy, I was expecting, a different response, but I asked the guy, hey, how much do you want for these comics inside? He goes, 25 cents a piece. Like, I wish I had a video camera on my face at that moment, because it probably was like in shock, and it took me a couple of seconds to respond. So I freak out, and I hand the guy $50, where the actual price I think was like 35. So I hand him $50, and I'm like, okay, thank you. And the guy's probably thinking like, what a sucker. He only needed to pay me 35, and he gave me 50. Well, I get in the car, and we start tallying all of it up. And the total value that was in that box was $30,000. We found a box of comics on some dude's driveway.
That's insane.
$30,000. Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was so
and that
cool.
stuff is out there. I mean,
Yep.
We estimate, I think, Nathan, you and I talked one time, like, if all you want to do is go out for 2 to 5 hours on a Saturday with a reasonable level of training and hit yard sales, that's easily, once you know what you're doing, that's easily a $40,000 to $50,000 a year income.
Oh, yeah. That's what
Easily.
we did. That's
Easily.
What we did.
But I mean, you guys
Yeah.
had 30,001 score, right? And
Yes,
you
for sure.
didn't know what you were doing. Because it's so easy now. One of the things I don't want to breeze past is it's so easy to research the value online and say, all right, what is this worth? Here's a little very specific tip for guys out there listening, and ladies. If you go on eBay and you search completed listings, it's an advanced search. Go to ebay.com or use the eBay app, search advanced, do an advanced search and search for completed listings. You can see what items have sold for recently. That'll give you a decent idea of what stuff is worth. Now, 95% of the people out there in the world don't know that tip. So now you have an unfair advantage. When you're going through yard sales, research, pull it up on Amazon, pull it up on eBay, see what it's worth. And if it's worth a whole lot more than what you can buy it for, buy it and flip it. It's a beautiful business model. And like I said, I've got teams that go out, man. I sleep in on Saturdays, dude. I don't even get up for Saturday morning cartoons anymore, dude. I mean, I'm in bed. Like, but I got my team out there. They love it. They get up the crack of dawn and they've mapped out the yard sales. They love hitting it. And I know that's what you do as well, Brett, is you guys hit it hard. You'll never have better profit margins than the stuff you're going to find at yard sales. You just won't. I mean, where else do you turn $50 that you overpaid $50 into what you said, 30,000 once it was all said and done?
Yeah. I mean, just to give an idea, there were comics in there that if they would have been in a little bit better condition, you're not talking the things worth 30,000. Those comics alone, when we start to get them appraised, if they would have been, just one click better condition, you're talking $100,000. One of them actually closed, the same comic, everything the same, except it had like a better staple in it. It closed for $400,000. So, wow. And again, it's an extreme example, but I think the point is, look, and it's so weird. I garage sale, but I'm also the same way. Like, I just want stuff out of my garage. I'm not going to spend the time researching it. So people they don't know what they have, and they don't really want to spend the time figuring it out. So yard sales are one of the best ways, especially if you have a limited amount of cash and you're just getting started. It's just such low hanging fruit that you can get going on right away and see your cash start to go to work for you.
And this is something we dive deep into in our community. I mean, we literally could have done just yard sale topic today, and we could have gone for hours on just some of the different tips and tricks and tactics and strategies. But how about this, Nathan and Brett? I'll lay this challenge on you guys. Give you a second to think about it. Let's drop some very specific, like when you yard sale, always be on the lookout for this. Just let's give them some like real specific, so people are like, wow, that was a great webinar just for the next 45 seconds alone.
If I can
what
go
should
first,
they be looking for?
Yeah, if I can go first. This is the one that tripped me out the most. VCRs. VCRs are one of the fastest selling items that you can grab at a yard sale. And if you can find one like newer in a box, if you stumble on that, you can sell on Amazon. But VCRs are also great to sell on eBay. It just blows my mind. You can buy them for $30. You can sell them for upwards of 200. Most of the price points come in at about 80. VCRs, awesome. You find them at almost every garage sale. Okay.
And the VHS.
And the VHSs now are becoming more valuable. The other one that I absolutely love is board games. So used board games you can sell either sometimes on Amazon and eBay. But actually, I don't even know if I've talked about that this much, or to you, Jim, is we kind of how Nathan talks about books. That's how we got into board games. Most of our staff who's been with us for years, you know what they all started doing? Counting pieces in board games, and myself included. But it is another one of those things where people are like, I just want it off my lawn. I don't really have a value for it, 50 cents. Well, that used board game sometimes goes for $30, $40, $50, $100. I mean, we've sold several used board games, for $100, $200, sometimes $300. So those are my two that you can find at almost every single garage sale. VCRs, and sometimes you get brand new board games, but even if it's just used board games, do not pass by those. They can have a ton of value.
Yeah, board games.
That's a great tip. I love it. Nathan, what are some of the things, what are some of the categories you get excited about? I know books for sure.
Board games really quickly, even if they are missing pieces, they still sell for big bucks.
Yep.
It pays to know what you have, right? So, oh my gosh, I can't even believe that. Sorry about that. Now, my two items that I would have someone go off. I mean, I already talked about books. Books are my favorite. They're the best ROI. I mean, I make thousands of percentages of ROIs just looking for books, and then everything else is just kind of a bonus. But one of the key things I look at is old video gaming, vintage video gaming, new video game, any video games. They all sell. You know, I've bought a whole box of your old Atari. Oh, I'll give you $20 for that, and sell that stuff for like 250 to 300 bucks. I mean, 1,000% ROI. Boom. And it's not that these are needles in the haystack. I mean, you talk about those comic book collections. They aren't needles in the haystack. They're there. There's an abundance of this stuff out there. It just comes down to your mindset about whether you believe you can do it or not. And believe me, you can do it if you have the right knowledge, direction, tools. So video games would be the first thing that I look at, right? The next thing I look at is I'm starting to do more old vinyl records. Vinyl records are really, really picking up steam. And then another thing that I go after and I look for, and this one's kind of weird, but sewing patterns. A lot of the baby boomers, you know, and older generation that are passing away, because a lot of times when you see a yard sale happen, it'll be because somebody is, you know, has passed away or they moved into a rest home or whatever. I bought for $75 sewing patterns that I ended up selling for like 25 grand, you know, over a period of time. Just take them, scan the barcode on the back, new, used, doesn't matter. They all sell, and they're all light ship them all into Amazon FBA and be done with it. It's a beautiful business in and of itself. That's another thing you can run an ad for in Craigslist, right? Cash paid for your sewing patterns. You know, I'll pay about 10 cents a pattern.
I love it. Well, you know, we get excited about yard sales, and obviously there's going to be people on here like, I don't want to do yard sales. You know what? You don't have to. This is one of, we've got about 35 or 40 different ways that you can build an incredible business, any one of these strategies. But let's just hit a few more to give people specific examples, okay?
Real quick.
Now, go ahead.
Before we go to the next one, something that Nathan mentioned, something that Brett has talked about. People already have things around their house. All they have to do is take the Amazon app and go check it and scan these items, just the one that people would buy off of, and see what some of the stuff they have, what the value is. As Brett's talked about it before. You want to verify if this is real, just go and scan some of those things and see what they're listed for on Amazon.
And that's a great tip. We've been doing this so long, sometimes we overlook the most obvious little tips. That's beautiful. Yeah, walk around your house and just scan some barcodes with the free Amazon seller app, or just look them up on Amazon if you don't have the seller app yet. I think you have to register to be a seller in order to download the Amazon seller app. But you can get it easy enough, just go on Amazon and see what the stuff's sitting around your house in the box. You know, the gift you got from your aunt that you never opened. You know, what's it worth? Scan it, find out, look it up on Amazon. I love it. Yeah, your business could start right there. That's actually a great way. If we're talking about putting 50, 100, or maybe even $500 or more, we all have stuff we're not using. Great tip, Stephen. Love it, man. All right, let's jump on to the next one. Next slide. Some tips around this one. You can create bundles out of very obvious products that you think, oh, well, that's already on Amazon. I can't sell that. If you create a unique bundle, suddenly you've gotten yourself into some fresh air where there's no competition. It's a beautiful thing. And this is another one of those slides that we could literally spend an hour and a half on, but we can give you some ammunition to where you're intelligently tackling this topic. So who wants to grab this one and run with it a little bit, guys?
Man, I'd love this one because I live this. This is what I do. So bringing it back to what we talked about before, Amazon, when you use Amazon FBA, Amazon's basically saying, hey, I'm gonna expose you to our best of our best customers, right? Well, guess what? The best of the best customers on Amazon, they care about one thing: convenience. Okay, these are the people using Amazon Prime, meaning their most valuable asset is their time, and I'm one of those now. Okay, and what that means is I don't cross compare 20 different sites to save $1. Okay, when I go shopping, when I do something, I'm gonna go like for 1 minute, type something into Amazon. Amazon's going to tell me what to buy, and then I'm going to buy it, and I'm not going to look back. Creating bundles is one of the most underrated opportunities on Amazon. And what that means is you are finding the gaps that exist on Amazon. So I'll give you an example for my wife. My wife just did her 30th birthday, her Great Gatsby themed party. and she was looking for golden themed items. So picture like golden straws, 20s themed, right? She was typing that into everything she was looking for on Amazon, but nothing came up. She'd type in, bright gold straws, and all of a sudden pink straws would pop up. But man, if someone put gold straws with golden spoons, right, and called it a gold party bundle, man, my wife Noelle would have been all over it. So creating bundles is all about thinking, how is the customer going to search for this? Okay, and all you're doing is taking two items and putting them together so that it's a super convenient checkout for the customer. And you can charge a premium for that because the customer values the convenience. Did that pretty much cover it, Jim?
Oh, I love it. That's one way the bundles are awesome. Let me propose an even simpler model. If you go on Amazon and you go to buy something, pay attention to what shows up underneath and says, "Hey, customers who bought that item, they also bought these items." And you think to yourself, "Wow, no one has put the item I'm about to buy with one of those items showing below. I'm going to make a bundle of those two items, knowing nothing else. Just try it. Just go buy them retail, mark it up 30%, and see what happens." And you can stumble into incredible bundle opportunities that way. And again, our course goes deep into this topic, but I think we've given people enough to get excited because maybe they were thinking, everything's on Amazon already. No, the potential combinations and multi-packs that you can do. If only single, like right here, I think we got like a little toolkit in the middle of the screen. I can't tell what that is, a little screwdriver kit or something. Somebody's just basically gone out and said, "Hey, let's just put two of these together and call it a bundle." A multi-pack is what we call it. It's two or three of the same item. If no one else is doing that yet, the perceived value of someone being able to grab one of the items that we sell, I can't tell you what it is because I don't want 1,000 competitors, but basically we just said, hey, no one's selling this in quantities greater than one. Let's put together a pack of 3 and mark it up 30% and see what happens, and it sells. That's all we had to do. We're paying retail. And for the convenience, the Amazon shopper is not doing the math. They want the convenience. Like, there's 3 in one bundle. I'm going to grab it. They assume the bundle is cheaper. It's not. It's more expensive than buying them individually. But they grab it.
The toolkit here that we see, these two that are put together, one of our community members, Abe, this is actually an example he used of his combination and how that he did massive sales during the fourth quarter because he put these two together.
I love it. It's not complicated, man. And if you see one that's working, then you can research the wholesale and go, let's find the supplier. Let's look at the label on the back of this package. Who distributes this? And you give them a call and say, hey, I want to place a decent size order. Can you put me in contact with someone? I want to place an order, right? Companies love selling their stuff. This isn't rocket science, guys. All right, well, let's keep it moving, man. We're putting together a killer webinar here. But here's an important tip for private label. I want to focus on a topic that comes up a lot because maybe you want to create your own product. Maybe you haven't heard the phrase private label before. Basically, all that means is you're going to come up with your own product, right? That is a great way to avoid competition on Amazon, is to have your own product. It's not complicated. We make it super simple in our course to do this. But here's an important thing that we want to teach you. And Brett hit on this a little bit when he was talking about his wife's birthday party, right? You want to start understanding keywords. So it's not so much about looking for the perfect product when you get into private label. It's about looking for underserved keywords. And Brett gave us a great example, a golden themed party bundle pack, or, that whatever phrase his wife used. And this is a good way to do your research here. I love this tip that I'm about to give everyone. And then Nathan and Brett, I'll let you take a shot at this one too before we move on. But I tell my wife, she does a lot more shopping on Amazon than I do. And we have this working agreement. I say, anytime you go on Amazon and you're shopping and you type in a search phrase and nothing relevant comes up, I need you to tell me about that, because that's a potential gold mine for us. Because if there's thousands of ladies out there like you looking for a similar item and they're not finding it, well, I want to be the one supplying it. And we teach you in the course how to test those. It's not complicated. You could basically just go test these bundles. Every time you get an idea, go test it. It costs you a few dollars. Why not? See how fast it sells. But you can have the person in your house who shops the most, or a neighbor or a friend, just post it on Facebook and say, hey, if you shop on Amazon a lot, let me know. And then you tell that person, hey, anytime you encounter an Amazon shopping experience where you can't find what you were looking for, I want to know what search phrase you used. And those can be gold mines. Anything to add to that, guys?
No, I'll just give you a real example of something we're looking for right now, and I haven't even typed it into Amazon to know what would come up, but we have a bunny, and we want a bunny cage cleaning kit. Like, that's what I would literally type in, right? That's an example of a potential private label product, because you can put a couple different products together and you can target everybody who's looking for a bunny cage cleaning kit. So it's not about finding the right product. It's all about finding out how many people are looking for that type of an item and what exactly are they looking for. So that's when you said, there's millions and millions and millions and millions of potential gold mines to sell on Amazon. I mean, seriously, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So, I'm sure there's even a couple of people off this webinar that could make some money selling bunny cage cleaning kits, because I'm sure I'm not the only person with a bunny who's looking for something like that.
Right. Yeah. And the cool thing is, you and I were talking about this the other day, Brett, is it's not like we're ever going to fill that bucket of possibilities, because our culture is constantly changing. Yep. There's new phrases introduced into the English language constantly. There's new concepts and new trends, new bundle possibilities daily, probably hundreds of thousands of new unmet categories on Amazon every day. The opportunity grows daily. We can't possibly ever catch up with it. That's how big it is. Well, hey, let's jump forward, because I want to start bringing this thing home and tell people how they can get excited about this. Here's what makes what we're doing today and the course we're talking about different from everything else out there. There's no one else that's been teaching sellers how to go from I know nothing to success. There's no one out there who's been doing it longer than us. We've got a proven path that you can follow. We love that word, proven. And we've got multiple modules inside our course. Let's just show a screenshot. These are some of the courses that are inside our big course. And we're constantly adding more to it, guys. So the proven performance inventory, I'm not going to talk about all these, but let's look at that one in the upper left-hand corner, proven performance inventory. That's the one that Brett brought to us, the strategy, and he said, hey, look, this is how I grew my 8-figure business. This is how I discovered all those golden gaps on Amazon, those underserved niche markets. It's not complicated stuff. We've sent loads of students through this. They're raving about it. It'll change the way you see Amazon, and it's a simple concept. We go deep into that. The proven private label, we talk about how to get your own product, how to find stuff on eBay, the book sourcing course. The proven product partnering in the middle on the right, we hit on that one a little bit too. Nathan talked earlier in the webinar about finding businesses that don't want to do Amazon, they don't understand online selling. We tell you exactly how to find businesses that need help, how to partner with them in a profitable way, and you could feasibly have multiple Amazon accounts. You help businesses set up their own Amazon account and you get a percentage. The entire course, Proven Product Partnering, is about that. And I'm not going to even go into the rest. We talk about how to build your team. We talk about how to get on Amazon no matter where you live in the world. That's the Get On AZ course. No matter where you live in the world, you can sell on Amazon in the US. It takes some creativity, might take a partnership, but we talk to you about the different strategies you can use to sell into the US if you live outside the US. So let's keep it rolling, man. I want to show a little resource. Now, this next screen, it's going to be it's a lot for the eyes to take in, so don't try to see all the little numbers here. But basically, we've got a load of resources for you that we explain, and basically every product category on Amazon. In some cases, like in books, there's 62 million plus books listed on Amazon at any given moment. So to be in the top 1% of all books on Amazon, well, you got to be ranked 629,000 or higher. So we teach you how to look at the rank for a product and know, is that a top 1 to 3% product or not? That's just one of the resources we put together and update for you monthly as one of our Proven Amazon course students. Now this one is a webinar. This is actually a webinar you did, Brett. You were talking about your wife's birthday. We did this webinar right about that time because you were using some examples from her shopping experience on Amazon. And but this is, we do a monthly webinar. It's always either Brett or myself or Nathan or someone from our leadership and coaching team. Like I said, there's about 80 of us, but it's one of us from the top 5 or 10 leaders in our community. And we do this webinar where all the students can come. We ask questions, we interact. It's kind of like this webinar, except we open it up and you can interact and ask questions. It's done live. Every month we do this, if not once, multiple times, where you can interact with our community. But Brett, tell us, what are we looking at here? Maybe is there a little lesson in this screen just from recalling this webinar?
Yeah, I mean, this is getting to do monthly webinars. When you're talking about the value of Proven Amazon course, this is huge, in my opinion, because this is keeping up with all the different trends and things that are happening online. Because a lot of other courses, like, hey, you bought the course, good luck in life. I'll update you next time you're ready to buy something. This is different. This is a monthly webinar we do for free, and this gives me the opportunity to kind of talk to you about the latest and greatest things that I'm seeing in doing this, at an 8-figure level and growing. And this was a webinar where we talked about how my wife was looking for a roll-up red carpet. Yes, a roll-up red carpet for her birthday. I don't want to expand into why and how extravagant that was, but yes, she was looking for a red roll-up carpet.
Hey, she's worth it.
And so when she started to look on Amazon, she could not find exact matches for what she was looking for, meaning like she couldn't find something that said, red carpet for parties, right? That's really what she was typing in. So kind of going back to all these hidden opportunities that are there, Noelle, she's not looking like, hey, show me the cheapest option, because this thing's like $9.49, right? Noelle probably just on that carpet alone, she was ready to spend $200. So if somebody would have typed into their title red carpet for parties and would have had a red carpet, going into a party, Noelle would have bought it on the spot for $200 and not even blinked. That's the lesson learned in this one, is there are millions of shoppers like my wife Noelle, and they are just looking for a match of what they really want. And that's what we teach in Proven Amazon course, and that's what we get to talk about monthly. Guys, I'm telling you, it's just, once you get involved in this, it is an endless amount of opportunity.
And you can take it at your own pace. Some people do it a few hours a week. Some people jump all in and it's their full-time thing very quickly. But it's work at your own pace. Grow your business. Slow and steady wins the race, right? We hit that. Yep. Well, let's keep it rolling, Stephen. This is the course that has been used. We mentioned our community of 30,000 plus people. This is the course that's been used by them to build profitable businesses. Financial stability, time flexibility. And someone's got a siren going past their house, man. I care, it's not me. But hey, we're keeping it real, man. But let's jump in. You know what? I think the way I'd like to end this, we hit a few testimonials at the beginning of this, but let's hit a few more. Let's just show you a few more real people, a few more real users. These are the people who are in our community every day. Mike and Brittany Ross, man, these guys are awesome. They are, man, they're up to 4 million now. They've built a team. I love it. They started off with just a little side thing on eBay. They've been to a few of our events. These are people who are in our community every day. Let's just flip through, man. We've got like, what, 4 or 5 of these. This is beautiful. Who else is here? Robert, 103,000 in his first year. He's on track to do 250K this year. Wow, he quit his job. I mean, we've got so many people. I love seeing dads be able to, if they want to, leave their corporate career and come be home, because I'm a dad and that's what I got to do. So I don't know what it feels like to be a mom and get to do that, but I sure know what it feels like to be a dad and get to be home and have that flexible lifestyle, that flexible schedule. And so when I get to share that with another dad, man, it gets me more excited than any other kind of success story we see, because I understand what it feels like to be that dad. And I know, Brett, that's what you went through. Nathan, that's what you went through. Steven, you're now home every day, man. I love it, man. All right, who else?
Robert here, just real quick, that last point there about he was able to get to the point to spend time with a good friend of his who was going through cancer treatment. He actually took her to the treatments when she was going through that. And that for him meant everything in the world.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, you can become that person that you've always thought you're capable of being, that person that has some extra time on their hands, a little extra money in the bank. I love the concept of turning all those life challenges that life throws at us and those opportunities, they just become little expenses. So yeah, he could afford to take a day off if he needed to go be with his friend to help them with cancer treatment instead of saying, sorry, dude, I got to be at work all day tomorrow, but God bless you, man, I'll be praying. No, he actually took him to the hospital. He's there with him because he's got the flexibility, he's got the income, he can be that person he wants to be. I love it, man. All right, let's keep rolling. Man, Allison's up to over 300K now. I remember when she came into our community. Uh, Man, so many familiar faces. And she was at one of our events. That's where this picture was taken. So we'll learn more about that too as you jump into our community. We have events for our students where you can get together live and see other people who are doing this business and hang out. 106,000 her first year. It's amazing. Craig, okay, so he lost his job with 5 kids. I know what that feels like. I've got 5, but he had 1 on the way, so he's actually got me beat. But this is their full-time income now. He calls himself, I love that phrase he uses, unemployable. I call myself certifiably unemployable. I'm so excited about e-commerce and online business and the flexible schedule I get to live now and teaching others this stuff. If someone offered me a job, I wouldn't take it. I'm unemployable. I just can't see myself ever having a real job. Okay, these are the courses again. We're just going to give you a reminder. This is just some. Now, we've listed, 8 or 9 courses here. I think there's closer to 20 now, different modules inside our proven course that we're going to tell you guys about. Let's jump up to slide 40. This is just more of the stuff that's in there. I mean, this is a slide where maybe if you're listening or watching this, you could freeze it and just look through some of the benefits. Some of them we haven't even talked about yet, but we just keep kind of piling on because our goal with this course is to be so much better than every other course that's out there, while at the same time, the least expensive. So we just destroy excuses and end up with what we have now is the biggest community of successful sellers on Amazon in the world. It's the biggest community of its kind. So here's a screenshot that Steven took. This is what it looks like inside the course. Some of the different topics and some of these links, if you click them, it's a downloadable PDF report. Some of them, it's a full course on the topic, and you can go deep into several different areas. Resources, we got a lot of stuff for international sellers. We teach you, if you live in the US, you can sell internationally, or if you don't live in the US, we teach you how to sell into the US if you'd like, which is the biggest Amazon market currently. So all this, look at all those sourcing ideas in the top right. Those are all our different sourcing strategies that we teach you. You will never run out of ideas with this course, man. Let's jump forward and tell you one of the more exciting things that you're going to get. You're going to get access to our Facebook group, which we can't wait to tell you about. You're going to get videos of our live conferences. All the people in this picture paid thousands of dollars, hotel, travel, ticket expense, to come hear the content that we teach over several days at our live events. We do it once a year. It sells out in one day every year, but you get it thrown in with the course, man. That bonus right there alone is worth several $1,000s. And then another reminder that you get free updates for life. We're not going to nickel and dime you. There's no software you have to buy. There's no, oh, we forgot to tell you, you got to buy this $19 a month thing to be able to do this. No, there's nothing hidden in this opportunity. Am I being straight with them, Nathan, Brett? I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, man. It is an unreal value. Unreal.
It's a one-time purchase. I mean, we've had people literally build tens of millions of dollars worth of business from a course that cost them a few $100s. We've got a whole community full of those people. So here's a question for you. If this course only helped you pay a few extra bills, or only helped you make an extra $250 to $750 a month, like, a car payment or an electric bill, if you were just able to get rid of the junk around your house and put a few $1,000s in the bank, and that's all you did, would it be worth it? Let me tell you some real statistics. We surveyed the people who have bought this course. We actually sent a survey to everyone who had purchased our course. And we said, and these are people who had it for more than a couple months, so they'd settled in and they were now using it. And we said, how's it going? What's your business look like? You try to find another business opportunity in the world that looks like this. 84% of our audience says they were selling at least $500 or more per month. 53%, over half were selling $5,000 or more per month. I mean, guys, come on. That's like people go to college to try to find that kind of income, and they don't. They find themselves in debt and struggling to find a job making half that per month in a lot of cases. And this is a course that costs a few $100s. All right, I feel like I want to remind people one more time, man. Here's the courses you're going to get. That's just some of it. Here's more of the courses, but free updates for life, man. That is something I can't overemphasize. So that means a year from now, 2 years from now, we love selling physical product online. Even after Amazon, let's say eBay starts to be awesome again, we're going to keep serving this community and keep cranking out incredible content and keep giving it away. Because again, the goal that we had initially, Nathan and I had initially when we built this course almost a decade ago, was we want to have the biggest community of successful online sellers in the world. And we've done it, and we're going to keep growing and keep dominating that space.
Hey, Jim, just real quick, I think it's good right here to let people know how to get this course. You know, the price point sometimes throws people off. They don't understand how it is that we could offer at such a low price point, and that ends up hurting us because they compare it to our competitors who are charging thousands of dollars for their courses. Sometimes you'll find them for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 or even more, but actually contain less training material. We offer this at a great value because there's thousands of dollars worth of training within the Proven Amazon course. And we even offer a no payments, no interest for 6 months option through our partnership with PayPal Credit. PayPal Credit is a new program, relatively speaking, and people can apply for that and not have to make any payments and have no interest for up to 6 months and still get full access right away to the Proven Amazon course. Of course, we also have our standard 1 pay and 3 pay payment options, but people are liking the PayPal credit option as well. So I'm going to turn it back over to you guys, and I think we've given people some great information here that they can take and utilize and take action on right away. Do you guys have anything to add?
Well, I could just give my personal testimony again. This changed my whole life, and anyone who's listening, I would have, in knowing what I know now, this is the best deal that's out there, and it is, the community is amazing. If you're really ready to change your life, this is the opportunity. There's nothing like it online. I promise you will not find a better community, a more proven system, and people who are really pulling for you and want to support you at every turn. It's just, if you want that moment where your life changes, this is that moment.
Yeah, it's changed my life too, Jim. You know, I'll tell you, the only thing that separates whoever's listening to this from the people that they're seeing in our testimonials and their success stories and the massive success that they've had, the only difference between you and them is they have the right knowledge, direction, tools, and I want to say family. Our community is like a family. The culture of what we do is based around our reputation and just that family culture. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And this is a short-term investment for long-term success. I would say if you're serious about a real change in your life, if you're at that time and place in your life where you're ready to make the change, I would say this is the right change. And it's going to be hard and smart work. It's not going to be easy, because if it was easy, it was easy, cheap, or free, everybody would be financially independent and have all the freedom and control they want in their life. And I can tell you, it just takes for you to just try it, find out just how simple it really is, and get that first one result. That one small success is all it's going to take to open the floodgates and create that snowballing effect like we've seen with so many other people. And we're here to support you. That's the best thing about it. Not just for now, but 5 years from now, we'll be here. 10 years from now. So you owe it to yourself. And not only that, Jim, with this, we've always made it a point that if anytime you're not happy with this course, get a refund anytime.
Yeah, that's a great point. We've got the friendliest refund policy in the world. And I would just encourage the people listening to this, come check out and just see how awesome our community is. If you jump in a week and you're like, those guys, there's no community here, there's no success stories here, there's no excitement here, and that's your experience, just get a refund. We'll give it to you. You won't find people online complaining about our community. If you go out and research, you just won't. You're going to see tons of success stories because that's what we've been doing for over a decade, is creating awesome success stories. So, hey, I think I'm going to wrap it up right here. People gave us a good chunk of their time, man. Thank you so much. If you listen to this and you watch this webinar with us today, I hope you feel like you got enough from this webinar that you can go out and try this. Go give it a shot. We gave you enough to go put some money in the bank. So go do it. But then come back and take a look, because this course, the price is going nowhere but up. Okay, the price will go up on this course. Like I said, it should be $2,000 or $3,000. It's only $349 right now. That is insanely underpriced. And as we add more value to the course, it will go up over time. But if you lock in, you're never going to pay another dime for it. It's just going to keep getting better and better and better, like it has for over almost a decade now. But all right, well, thanks for listening. We love serving creative online entrepreneurs like you. We're here for you. You can come hang out with us all day, every day on Facebook in our community. You'll see how to do that once you grab the course. And we can't wait to see you in our community, and we'll welcome you when you show up. So I think we'll call that a great webinar and end it right there. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it.